Good morning. Standing outside the door of love and mercy, you wonder if there's a place there for you. You know there's peace inside, but still you're searching for someone who understands the pain you've been through. Well, the doors are locked, the lights are on. What are you waiting for? Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. You'll find a place of rest in the arms of spirit. God's waited so long for your homecoming day. God knows the peace you seek and the hurt you're feeling. Spirit wants to hold you and to wipe your tears away. Well, the Father waits with open arms. God is calling out your name. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Well, there's room enough in the house of love for someone just like you. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, yes, come on in, welcome home. You are loved, you belong here now. No matter where you've been, come on in. Thank you.
Good morning, Unity. Whoa. It really is exciting and great to be able to look out at those faces here, all family and friends, and it's a super time for us to get together, and we're really open. We are back to having service on Sunday morning. We're very happy about that.
All right.
Yeah. And for those of you who are still watching from online, I want to encourage you. First of all, I want to welcome you. I'm happy that you are attending, even if you can't be here. But I want you to know that it's just not the same as the sound of our music when it's live. Yeah?
Isn't it? Aren't you just, for those of you at home, I know it's nice to be in your pajamas, but it's so boring being at home, right? Come join us.
Yeah, and what you're missing is the energy. We have folks up and dancing already, so how can you go wrong? If you did find us online, then I guess you know how to do that. So there are two places you can go to. One is you can go to our website, which is unityofpompanobeach.org. And that's a great resource for you because there are a number of things there. For example, you can sign up for emailing to you the weekly happenings of all the activities that we're doing here. And in addition to that, there's an opportunity if you need prayer, you can submit a prayer request, which our chaplains will then be happy to pray with you on that. And there's also an opportunity for you to donate if you'd like to do that. So that's just on our website. We're also on Facebook. And so you can get to us on Facebook by Unity of Pompano Spiritual Center. Okay.
We're also on YouTube. We archive all of the services, and it's on YouTube under Unity of Pompano Spiritual Center. So,
yeah, thank you for that too, Jay.
Yeah.
So I'm Bob Wilson, if you don't know who I am. I'm a member of the board, and I'm also a chaplain. And I'm up here on the platform today with our spiritual leader, Bev Spivey, whom you all know. So Bev's going to be delivering the message this morning. And you'll notice there's somebody missing. So Reverend Lawrence is out in Colorado. He's actually going to the 100th anniversary celebration of the church that he served there for 12 years. It's Unity of the Rockies in Colorado. Wow. So he's had a rough trip out there, but he's there. And we send our blessings, and we'll see him next week when he comes back. All right? And then there's James, our wonderful music director.
Good morning. So good to see all of you here this morning. Won't you please welcome once again Mr. Jon Rose on the piano and the keyboard, Mr. Shay Eischen at the drum set, and she's with us once again. Won't you please welcome our featured soloist, Miss Laura Vivas.
Yeah, welcome.
And that first selection you heard was a song we love called Travels by Pat Metheny, and I thought that was appropriate because one of the songs today is called Where Am I Going? From Barbara Streisand. And the other song this morning is from Tracy Chapman, so there you go.
Thanks. Thank you, Jay. So we are really starting to open everything up, as I've already mentioned, and we are getting our leadership teams going again, and we actually are adding some leadership positions. So there are two in particular I wanted to mention today. One is we have a new leader for our volunteers for all of the programs that we do here, and that's Greg. Greg, you're here. Could you just wave back there? Greg Johnson. And the other is Tracy Quill. Tracy, there she is. She's going to head up our events ministry. We like to do things like create events here during the whole year. So we need someone who takes care of all the volunteers while that's happening. So we're really happy and welcome and thank you, both of you. Now, you know, the pandemic has had a heavy impact on us, like everyone. And things will never really be the same. We need to move ahead. So our theme for this year is A New View in 2022. So let me read the Daily Word if you didn't have a chance to see it this morning yet. It's about prosperity. With God as my source, I live abundantly. No matter how much I have in the bank, the kind of car I drive, or the house I live in, I know these things are mere manifestations of abundance. The source of all prosperity is God. I look beyond appearances to find a deeper meaning of prosperity. Meaningful work that I enjoy doing is part of my prosperity, not only because I earn, but also because I get the satisfaction from being able to use my skills. My house becomes a home when it's filled with people I love and care for. My financial resources don't diminish, but multiply when I share them generously. As I look beyond the good things in my life to the love, the creative insight, and the limitless flow of divine ideas that brought them into manifestation, I discover true abundance. That comes from a reading of Proverbs chapter 8, verse 18. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and prosperity.
Right now, we'd like to begin a time of prayer and meditation by singing, Spirit Meets Me There.
I breathe out, I breathe in, I am still, I go within. When I quiet my mind in the stillness I find, Spirit meets me there, Spirit meets me there. When I let go of my control, I find what truly satisfies my soul. When I quiet my mind in the stillness I find, Spirit meets me there, Spirit meets me there. Spirit meets me there, Spirit meets me there. Spirit hears and answers every single prayer. Spirit meets me there. Spirit meets me there. In the stillness, Spirit meets me there.
And holding on to that stillness now, let's enjoy a time of quietness, meditation, prayer, whatever you want to call it. Oftentimes we go into a visualization. There are many ways to get relaxed, to let go of your chattering mind, to let go of feelings that are plaguing you or thoughts that are interrupting your pleasant day. This morning I'm going to take us to the Bible. As I was thinking about, many of us grew up with Bible and we don't know what to do with it, and Unity does use the feelings, the sentiment, the words of Spirit still coming through to us as they did to the ancients. So let us now start by relaxing. Relax. If you were triggered even by the word Bible, just relax. Words have truth in them wherever we find them. From a billboard to the Tao to Emerson to Charles Dickens, we let Spirit speak to us through words. So relax your body now as you sit in the chair. Give it your weight. Relax your forehead. Can you feel your scalp tingle? Feel the movement of energy in your body. Let that energy release all of the tension, the tight spots through your face, your jaws, your neck. Just relax. This is a time for you. Just relax, and for a few moments, put aside whatever else you want to think about today. Feel your arms relax. Can you feel the energy in your hands? Perhaps you want to open your palm and just focus on feeling the energy there. That is the God energy of your very life. Feel it move on down through your heart and your organs and your torso, into your hips and legs. Relax all the way down to your toes. And in a time of contemplation, let us hear these words that were written about 1,000 years BC to the Hebrews who were then living in family tribes, 12 of them. In the glory days of King David, perhaps. And their religion was such an important part of daily life. And even though we've come to understand God even more so, let us reflect on the verse from today. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and prosperity. Riches and honor are with me, enduring wealth and prosperity. What does wealth mean to you? Health of body, health of mind, healthy relationships. As we ponder that idea, I'm moving now to the Psalms. where it says, "Do not fret because of evil men, or be envious of those who do wrong. For like the grass, they will soon wither. Like green plants, they will soon die away. Trust in the Lord and do good. Dwell in the land and enjoy safe pasture. Delight yourself in the Lord, and he will give you the desires of your heart." Trust in the Lord, delight in the Lord. Even in 1000 BC, they believed that the Lord was their God, their Jehovah. Today we see the Lord as dwelling deep within us through Spirit. Each person has access. We can trust in this. Love, comfort, guidance, peace. Trust in the Lord. Dwell in the Lord and watch the things unfold in your life. Trust in the Lord as we take that idea into a quiet time of stillness and silence. Trust in the Lord. As we leave this quiet time, find your own way to get into the stillness, the quiet, whether it's through contemplation or relaxation or chanting or drumming. Any number of things can get you relaxed to where you can commune with Spirit and have that peace of mind whenever throughout the day. It's only ever a thought away. And as we return now, I invite you to get back to your space and time, keeping the sense of stillness with you as we sing Alleluia.
Alleluia, 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 alleluia.
What will I find? What's in this grab bag that I call my mind? What am I doing alone on the shelf? Ain't it a shame, but no one's to blame but myself. Which way is clear when you've lost your way? Just the kick of it, staggering through the thin and thick of it, hating each old tired trick of it. Know what I am, I'm good and sick of it. Where am I going? Why do I care? Run where it's foul, run where it's fair. No matter where I run, I meet myself there, looking inside me. What do I see? Anger and hope and doubt. What am I all about? And where am I going? Tell me, why do I care? No matter where I run, I meet myself there, looking inside me. What do I see? Anger, hope, and doubt. What am I all about? And where am I going? Where am I
Thank you, thank you. Wow, wonderful music. Laura, you do Barbra Streisand great. Yeah. Yeah. Well, recently, oh wait now, I've got tools today. Thank you. This could be dangerous. It's PowerPoint. I was preparing for this lesson and remembered how inspired I was and still am from a few weeks ago, September 25th, when Reverend Shad Groverland, our executive director of Unity Worldwide, was here and did a workshop for all of the leadership on the Saturday, and then he spoke to us on Sunday morning. How many of you heard Reverend Shad on September 25th? Great, great, great. For those who didn't, you can watch online. As James mentioned, our YouTube channel, Unity of Pompano. Just put that and scroll down and find September 25th. And don't despair, they're not necessarily in chronological order. But his lesson is worth hearing. And if you really want to hear the whole service, we had some great music that day. How Great Thou Art brought people out of their seats. Was that you, Laura? Yeah. So, Reverend Shad was asking us the question of where are we going. He talked about the primary purpose of unity. And he said that unity has wonderful tools. James, I'm popping. It's not visible. He said we have wonderful tools to transform consciousness. And since we're in the business of fixing consciousness, transforming consciousness, not just for ourselves, but through us for the world. And he made the point that all of the problems we have in the world are from consciousness. So, if you're newer here, Unity has some of its lingo, and we get used to using it, and sometimes we don't even know what it means. So I'm putting on my licensed Unity teacher hat, and we're going to have a little lesson here. Maybe. Uh-oh. Where am I going? Here it is. Now, Charles Fillmore, the amazing thing, because we're used to psychology now, and please understand, I am not a psychologist. I'm looking around to see who today is one, and please forgive me. Psychology, especially in the last 50, 40, 30 years, has just come so far in learning so much about our mind. But even so, I'm going to give you the very basics and how we look at it in unity and how we can say that we can transform you. Many of us sitting here today already know we've been transformed to some degree, right? Look at your life and tell me that unity teachings have influenced how you're living now and for the better. So in the early 1900s, when unity was forming, Charles Fillmore, in his little dictionary, Revealing Word, gives a definition. Consciousness is a sense of awareness, of knowing. I guess you don't need to know more than that. Consciousness is all of our awareness of everything we know. It's a composite of our ideas, our thoughts, our feelings. It includes phases of mind, and here's where I ask the psychologist to give me a little slack, because conscious mind, of course, that's us moving around, but subconscious, also unconscious to us, also has layers within it now. One of them, I think, may be called superconscious, so don't get that confused with modern day. What we're speaking of in superconsciousness, I'll get to in just a minute. The conscious mind, that's us moving around. It's our identity. It's who we say we are, who we think we are. It's thinking. That's where we make our decisions, we analyze, we judge, we use our willpower, and we live our life through our conscious mind every day. Everybody does. And this is how we function. So what do we do with that information? We look at our subconscious mind, which is unconscious to us, unknown to us until we pay attention, as Streisand lyric said, what's in the grab bag of your mind? Well, it's all in here. The subconscious, first of all, repairs, renews, conducts our body functions. You can feel your respiration, your digestion, your lymphatic system, all the glands, all the hormones, automatic. It's our default pattern. And just like your computer, you can go forever with your default pattern, but you can also change it and develop other programs within your computer system. And so we learn how to have healthy living by understanding the body. The middle part on our list today is a repository. It's like a photographic plate of not only our memories, but every feeling and thought perception we had about that memory. That's how you take two children raised absolutely the same way, same parenting, same experiences, the family did everything together. Those two kids may have a totally different memory of something that happened. Some can be hugely traumatized by it. The other one may not remember it at all. When our feelings are hurt, when we feel loved, when we feel unloved, all of that is still in your subconscious mind. And the other thing that you may not have thought about, even if you've been in unity for years and years, the subconscious mind also holds our innate abilities, what we call our 12 powers. I'll get to that in a little bit. But that's how we know everybody has them. It's built into us. So in the subconscious mind, if you've ever observed, held, or even watched a video of a newborn baby, you know that babies cry when they are in pain, when they are hungry, and when they need attention. And so these things are innate, they're inborn, and even today, we would be wise in learning to recognize a little more. Am I just hungry? I'm out of sorts. I'm being nasty to somebody. Am I just tired? Am I needing attention and I'm not asking for it? A lot goes on in that subconscious mind. And I pulled this off of somebody's opinion on one of the healthy living things. Our subconscious mind is so powerful, it can completely change our world if we're able to understand it. And that's what we are about in Unity. Not just understanding our conscious mind, but getting to know how we can use it. So, the other phase of mind, conscious mind, subconscious, and superconscious, higher mind. Oh! They're laughing at me. Thank you, John. Thank you, Michelle. I didn't turn it on. I've got invisible help in the back with me. Okay, joke's on me. All right. Super consciousness. Lawrence, if you're watching, don't watch. Super consciousness. Okay, this is where, for lack of another reason, and it's what Charles Fillmore called it in 1920, we call it super consciousness. It's what we refer to as our higher mind. It's still all within our mind. All of these things are still within our conscious mind. It's just how we try to, as a human being, to understand. We try to identify and compartmentalize things. But our higher mind is where we go in quiet times, when we turn off the chatter, when we go to meditation, prayer, sometimes deeply engrossed in a contemplation of something. We reach that area where we can get impulses from spirit, where we can get, aha, I suddenly have the idea. Aha, now I know what to do. That's coming from divine mind. It's also what we call our Christ mind, when you hear that expression around here. The divine mind can help us, guide us, even in our ancient scripture this morning, talk about dwelling and having all your needs met. The intuition is there. Some of us that don't think we have much intuition, focus on that in your meditation time. Feel it, and then it'll become habitual through the day. You'll know your intuition. I've got it. So, this brings us to how we transform consciousness. It's Unity's third principle. We just have 5 of them. The third principle is thoughts held in mind produce their kind. A more modern way of saying it is that we create our experiences by our thinking. So, in AA, they have a wonderful tried and true statement. Thoughts held in mind produce their kind. It works if you work it. And that is true of every avenue of life. It works if you work it. Another well-used one attributed to Socrates, but I'm not sure. Is it kind when you have a thought, when you have a behavior? Is it kind? Is it true? Is it necessary? Sometimes you can notice your judging factor being overworked because you can notice that, this isn't quite right. His shirt tail should be tucked in. Just things aren't quite the way I think the world should be, and we get overusing some of our faculties. So keeping in mind that thoughts held in our mind produce our life. So we have some thought-changing tools. And where do we begin? If you're very new, and some of you have found us and aren't familiar with Unity, others of you have been doing this for decades, there's always room to learn and grow, right? So where do we begin? We begin by noticing. Before you even notice the feeling, notice when you're rattled. Notice when you're thrown off kilter. Notice when you're not feeling peace. You're feeling anxious. Notice when you're feeling tired even. Notice the good. Notice when you're feeling happy. Notice when you feel pretty good. Get used to noticing, and do that all the time, moment by moment. Notice. That helps you work from your higher mind, divine mind, if you're noticing, because you can get guidance in what to do with that. As you notice it, notice the feeling. Now, years ago when we taught crucial conversations, remember we were dealing with naming a feeling. What is it that you feel? Not how it looks. What is it that you feel? Are you angry? Are you sad? What is that feeling? Are you happy? And then, what thought is causing that feeling? That will get you to where the work can be done. That's where we do our transforming. And I want to just check here. Where the thoughts are is where you can identify kind of your method of operation, your MO. Do you notice that by and large you blame other people or things? Your computer isn't working, you're mad at the computer. Mostly it's you, at least in my case. Your credit card was hacked and you're furious. Notice that feeling and notice what thought is behind that. Or are you blaming yourself? Your computer isn't working. Oh, I'm so stupid. I don't know how to do this. Somebody hacks your credit card. Oh, what did I do? I shouldn't have used it at the gas station, right? Catch those thoughts. That's ruining your peace. That's not transforming your life, because we do it over and over and over again, and thoughts held in mind produce their kind. So, what thoughts? That's a rich field to explore. Then we go to what power is affected by this thought. And in a minute, I'm going to show you the 12 powers that we have, because we have seen this over and over again if you've been in Unity for a while. Charles Fillmore came up with this. Now we have lots more abilities that even aren't on this. We have the ability to create, but this is a guideline. It's a guideline that we teach for prayer. It's the guideline that our chaplains use by identifying the feeling, identifying the thought, and then what can we be used in a better way? Because these 12 things are in your subconscious mind, and they are acting by your default pattern that you have taught yourself from every perception you've ever had. And they will run on that default pattern unless you change it. So it's a little hard to read that. The powers are faith, love, strength, wisdom, power itself, imagination, understanding, will, order, enthusiasm, release, and the power of life. Of all the things that we employ, it takes the power of will to make significant changes. We say that the will is the CEO of your mind. You can will your CEO to stop thoughts that you don't want. It can be the bouncer at the door. No, I've thought this 10,000 times. I'm not going to think this anymore. My daughter-in-law really does love me. Period. Stop the other stuff. Now, here's the interesting thing. You can see that through the subconscious mind, it comes through our body, through our conscious mind, and that gives us a screen of our life. That's what creating the experiences that you're having. Notice that divine mind goes through God self. I don't think I know that my little pointer doesn't work on the screen. That God self is our higher power, what we're calling our superconscious mind. For the divine ideas to get of use in the subconscious through the conscious, we have to put it there. This is where we part ways with some of traditional Christianity's teachings. We can't say to something that has gone wrong, that we've done wrong, the devil made me do it. We learn as we traverse this transformation, we're responsible for our life. We're responsible for our actions. That's what the feelings of remorse and regret are for. We can put that into forgiveness of self and others, but we are responsible. And when we ask God in prayer, and the old style of asking God for help, that still works when you're in that place. But what we're really asking for is our God self, our higher mind, to take this idea and pull up that thought that's giving me this angst, and let me improve that and change it for the screen of my life to look a little different. I've had really good success lately in working on something, just a relationship that's already loving, but I would like it to be more. This is in my extended family. And I've had this for probably 10 years. It's just not, I'm not going to go into all the details here. Nothing major. You know, I'm blessed with a loving family all the way around, but just some distance and not as good communication and just feeling more separate, and I'd like to feel more warm and cozy. And I started taking my own medicine a couple of months ago, and I realized, wait a minute, I'm so used to thinking this, and it's not urgent, nothing has happened to explode in my life, so I've forgotten to look at it with my Unity tools. What am I really feeling, and what is the thought behind that? And the thought behind that, coming from my childhood long ago in the country where cousins got together all the time, my feeling was that loving extended families should get together often, should keep in touch. And I thought, wow, that hardly fits with the life I lead. For one thing, I work, so to speak, every Sunday and Saturday too, so weekends are out, and most people have Saturday and Sunday off. So, you know, when you identify the thought, then talk yourself through it and start with the things that aren't urgent. Because we have our wonderful tools. Affirmations are statements of positive, true things, and you've got to get to the truth in it. I know I can receive love from my family. Show me, God, how to notice loving things. And you'll get an email. You'll get a text. I guarantee it. Employ affirmations constantly to rein yourself in. Is what I'm thinking true? Is it even kind? Let me change that thought by using an affirmation. And the skill to affirmations is you have to believe it. Find something. I've told some of you through the years that know my son, who's now just a wonderful, successful husband and father. His dad and I agonized when he was graduating college. We didn't know how he would ever get a job and deal with corporate life because he's a computer programmer through the College of Engineering. And I was struggling with how to find something I believed in. I couldn't believe that he's going to get a happy, successful job in corporate world. I just couldn't believe it. So that's the other thing. Face your own doubt in your affirmations. And I walked and I meditated, and one day it just came to me. Oh, my son is capable. He has a great personality. He's very skilled. A perfect job's going to unfold for him. And he's been a very happy employee for 20-some years. He's climbed the ladder. He's a good leader. And yet he loves computer programming. Affirmations work. Sometimes you need to deny that anything has power over you or over your good. And this can happen when you're freaked out about your job, your bank account. You know, I deny that this fear has any power over me. And then, of course, meditation, sitting in pure silence. Find a way to do what we did this morning in your own version, and do that a couple times a day. It just takes prayer and practice. And don't forget to practice with your words as well as your actions. So those of you that are with me so far, you're nodding. Some of you are nodding off. Here's your little challenge. This caught me when we were in Mexico. We had lunch with the author Pam Grout. I taught from one of her books in 2013, E Squared. She invited us to lunch. We had a wonderful discussion. And we started saying, you know, we talk about living in the present moment. We want to focus to live in the present moment. But are you living in God's presence? Are you living in yourself as a spiritual being, expressing in that present moment? Or are you going through the routine of living in the ideas in conscious mind of what a spiritual person is, what a good person is, how things should be? Again, dig into your mind and see why you do the good things you do, why you give, why you serve. If you can get it to be something you really want to do because you feel spirit flowing through you and you just can't wait to express that, your life will be so much happier than when you're good and doing good things, but you're living in the performance. So do you live in the present? Do you live in the presence of yourself as a spiritual being, expressing as you? Or do you live in the performance? Something to think about. So as we finish up today, Reverend Shad, when he spoke to us on the 25th, said that living this life takes commitment. And I realized it takes commitment, and before commitment, it helps if you have trust. If you can really trust that this works. And if you do anything that I mentioned today in just the smallest way and see good results, and you will, then you'll soon develop your trust. But I picked out some scriptures because I want us, some of you miss reading Bible and having Bible, and we explain it here metaphysically, and it's still so rich with life lessons. And I use the one in the middle for our meditation. But anytime you want to just sit and relax and you want something spiritual to contemplate on and you don't have a book, grab a Bible, any version, and read in the Psalms and in the Proverbs. There's some wonderful, wonderful, comforting words there. Psalm 56:3, when I am afraid, I will trust in you. There's a good affirmation. I am not afraid, I trust in God. Fear has no power over me. I trust in God. This situation will be remedied. I trust in God. And lastly, the end, Proverbs 3:5-6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and do not lean on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. So as we continue on in this new view of 22, I invite you to think about these things. Use our unity tools. It's what has made our wonderful community here, and we love getting together in person. Those that are online, I invite you to come in person. Those who aren't even living locally, vacation here and see us. So think about the commitment and where you are with your tools, and dust some of them off, as I did, and let's use them again, because it works if you work it. Bless you.
Thank you, Bev. And there's more music to come. So I'd like to ask our ushers if they'd come forward now. This is our moment when we like to talk about prosperity. And we are very, very fortunate and abundant here at Unity. We have great volunteers. We have a lot of volunteers who give of their time and their energy. And we also have a place for when we need financial support. It's that moment right now. So I'm going to ask you, if you'll take a look at our slide up there, just want to remind you, if you happen to be a shopper, and you know the holidays are coming up, if you go to Amazon, if you go to smile.amazon.com, there is a place there where you're able to insert the name of Unity of Pompano Beach, and a certain percentage of everything you buy will be donated to us. So that's one of the special ways you can help us out. We have our ushers here who will pass the plate, so you can either put a check or cash in that. And online, there are lots of ways as well. We've got a donate tab on the internet that allows you to make that, or you can write a check and mail it into the office. So we thank you for your generosity, and we appreciate your willingness to support us in this way. The other thing that I just wanted to say is that this is just such a gift to have you all here in person, as Bev has already said. And thank you for coming today, and we hope to see you again next week. I'm going to turn it over to you.
And I guess, are we going to say the prayer?
Oh.
The offertory blessing? Let's do that, shall we?
Yeah, thank you.
Shall we? So we like to say this together.
You can tell I don't do this often. So shall
Bless
we?
your gift that's in your hand, and we like to say this prayer, the offertory blessing. Divine love through me blesses and multiplies
all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And
yes, indeed.
And thank you.
Yes, indeed. Yes. I was just going to say, I did misspeak, actually. We love Laura, but I know that it was Danette actually was here on September 25th, Bev, when Shad was here. It was Danette. And the thing I also wanted to say is that affirmations do work. I was going to call my album Affirmations because I know a lot of the divine ideas that became inspiration for the songs that I wrote were affirmations. So I just wanted to say that they do work. Yeah. Having said that, this is the song that says, "Start all over."
The whole world's broke, it ain't worth fixing. It's time to start all over, make a new beginning. There's too much pain, too much suffering. Let's resolve to start all over, make a new beginning. Now don't get me wrong, I love life and living. But when you wake up and look around, everything that's going down, all wrong. You see, we need to change and out this world with too few happy endings. We can resolve to start all over, make a new beginning. Start all over, start all over, start all over, start all over. The world is broken into fragments and pieces that once were joined together in a unified whole. But now too many stand alone, there's too much separation. We can resolve to come together in the new beginning. Yeah, yeah. Start all over, start all over, start all over, start all over. We can break the cycle, we can break the chain, we can start all over in the new beginning and start all over, 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 yeah, start all over, start all over, start all over.
So before we do the prayer for protection, I'd like to ask the chaplains. I want you all to know the chaplains are available to you, for you, to pray. And I'm going to ask them if they would get up and move to the outer aisles, just so they can be identified and you know who they are. I see we have at least two here. You have anybody over on this side? There we go. There's one more. All right. So the prayer for protection. Can we have it up? There we go. Are you will? If you'd all stand and join me in this. The light of God surrounds us. We are the light of God. The love of God enfolds us. We are the love of God. The power of God protects us. We are the power of God. The presence of God watches over us. We are the presence of God. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well.
Be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let there be peace on earth, the peace that was meant to be. With God as creator, family all are we. Let us walk with each other in perfect harmony. Let peace begin with me. Let this be the moment now. Breathe every step I take. Let this be my joyous vow to take each moment and live each moment in peace eternally. Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin